ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So I haven't been on tanks for a couple days, uh, and when I do get on, I kind of have been getting on and helping my daughter on her account whenever I can by basically running her a couple of her lower tier tanks to get her up there a bit. And as we work on it, we are now up to the T32. We've got the T29, T32. Um, we've got it researched. We just have not bought it. The T29 have it in the garage, but you can see it's stock with no crew. I'm going to take the crew out of the T1 Heavy and throw it in there in a couple days. I'm going to put some money on her account so that we can do that. But anyways, so I thought, I've been playing the 4202 on her account off and on, and you can see not the best win rate. I think she's probably been playing it too, which to her defense, she's literally brand new at tanks. Um, she has been playing mainly her smaller tiered stuff, tier twos, threes, fours. Just like my son even told her, you got to learn to play the basics before you jump into a tier 8. But, she does what everybody else does, and they think, oh, well, I got a gun that does 27 damage, but I got this other gun that does 230 damage. I want to run that. So, she's going to climb in and give it her best, and she actually does pretty good. I got to give her credit. Her win rate um, overall is really good. Especially for a beginner. I got to give her some kudos. She's doing a real good job. But anyway, so I have been running the 4202 every once in a while on her account, and I happen to run it today because basically it's just work grinding for uh, experience so that she can convert it. You can see we're getting quite a bit up there, and I don't think I've ever done a review on the FV4202, and after playing it on my account, I looked back at it and I've got like I think 50, maybe 40 or 50 battles in it, and I just thought back. I'm like, it just doesn't impress me that much, and I thought, let's go ahead and do a video about this thing 'cause I don't think I ever have. Now, a haul down on this, you can bounce some rounds, but it's 200 millimeters of turret armor, so tier 9s and 10s, if they load the gold, they're going to go through your turret pretty much anywhere. Um, you might bounce some right around the thick part of the gun mantle right here, but the commander's hatches were pretty tiny. Wiggle back and forth, they'll have a heck of a time hitting it. But I've actually had people pen me right in these cheeks from tier 9s and 10s, pretty much anywhere around the bottom of the turret. Um, there's no hitboxes on those sides there, so you don't have to worry about that, but they hit these cheeks and they go right through those. A couple tier 10s with real high pens um, gone through the upper part of my upper part of the turret. But when you're top tier, different story. A lot harder for them to go through that. They still can, but if you come at them, at a good haul down position that's got 10 degrees of gun depression, which is real nice, you can bounce a lot of damage that you would normally take. The only thing I really, and it's a huge downfall for me with all tier 8s that only hit for like 230 and 240, which this is one of them, but only hits for 230 alpha. The reload is okay at 6.75 seconds. So, you can waft another round into somebody pretty quick. Basically 2 rounds into them, they're 1 into you. But the problem you run into is, you might pen one and then bounce one. So you just traded, 390, 490 alpha against you versus your 230 against them. So you really got to make sure both those rounds penetrate. And there's no guarantee. Now the match you're gonna watch, I did sling pretty much I think all premium. I've come to the realization it's part of the game. It doesn't matter what you do, it's gonna be in the game until they change the aspects of the premium rounds, and it'll still be in the game. But to what I understand, let's say your round hits you for 490, standard or premium, does 490 average damage, either or. To what I understand they're going to do is take it where it'll have maybe a little more penetration but do less damage. So instead of hitting for 490, it'll hit for like half of that. It'll hit for 245 or whatever. So that in my mind would actually be a lot better. I would rather somebody shoot me with premium rounds because they're probably gonna penetrate you anyways in something like this unless you're hauled down. And if they want to waste credits left and right and only do half the damage, so be it. And then if you shoot with and there are tanks in the game that actually do that right now. Um, One of the tank destroyers, it's a premium. I can't think of it. It's the box tank. The box tank destroyer there. Can't think of what it's called at the top of my head. But that is a prime example. Standard round does like 515 damage. Premium rounds got better pen, but does less damage. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it is. But so we had a great game in this match that you're gonna watch, and there was a guy on our team. Which I'll pull up this. Well, just to go over this real quick. Basically, the hull is trash. Junk armor on the hull. You're not gonna bounce anything if they shoot you in the hull. You do have side skirts, helps you a little bit from artillery rounds, but it's very minimal. I mean, you can see paper thin. It's probably 3, maybe 5 millimeters of spaced armor there. Um, the turret on the front is about the only good place you have armor at 200 millimeters. The side and the rear are 90, so nothing special. These side things, they're basically for looks. The turret itself is obviously penetratable. These side thingies, canisters, containers, whatever you want to call them, those do not have hitboxes in them, so somebody shoots you there, they're wasting their rounds. So hopefully they do. The gun on this is actually very good. It's got pretty good penetration for the standard at 226 premium, 258, 42 for your HE. I do carry 3 HE rounds for just like resetting cap or whatever. Uh, 230 alpha, it just sucks because you hit something. I mean, I've got tier fives and I don't know, I don't think tier fours, but tier fives and tier sixes that, do 230 alpha. And this is a tier eight. You're going to see tier tens and you do 230. I mean, it's a medium tank at tier eight. In my mind, it should be doing about at least 280 to 300. That goes across the board for any medium at tier eight. 280 to 300 minimum. I mean, that just because it takes forever to just stack up the damage. Some people that get 2 shots off, they get 1,000 damage. You get 2 shots off, wow, you got maybe close to 600. you know. But anywho, so we had a pretty good match. One of the guys on our team, like I said, we'll pull him up here real quick. He said it was his first carry, and he was in Pershing, I think it was. Excellent freaking game. Oh, and right off the bat, another reason I kept on, you'll see it, I loaded premium, had it set to go to standard, and then the defender was crawling up the hill, so I just kept it on premium. The defenders, I get so sick and tired of shooting those things in the sides, rears, fronts, lower plates, and bouncing. And for some reason, even 226, it'll bounce, bounce, bounce. So I'm like, screw it, I'm keeping premium. I don't care. The nice thing was the IS-3 and T-44 both came up there. T-44, I think it's got 190 millimeter frontal turret armor. IS-3, really good frontal armor on the turret. So I kept it on premium, and I pretty much helped deal with these guys and get them out of the game. And that was their at least 2 of their 3 top tier tanks that came that way. So we did an all right. I mean, it was a Master Badge Class 2, and we got a Fire for Effect and a Bruiser. We did third most damage at 2,444, got 1 kill, base experience of 1058. This Pershing Ace Killer of 2017 and his Pershing did 2,898 damage, got 6 kills, 1,237 base experience. Awesome game for him. And Thantor and the SG-130 PM, 4,515 damage, 2 kills, 1,131 base experience for him. Awesome game for him. Fat Gandalf, he did a great job. 2309, 2 kills. Pretty much, several of our tanks did have really good games, and you got your ones that they just unfortunately had a bad game. Even this guy, he only got 404 damage, but hey, he got 2 kills, so good for him. But we had 16 shots, 15 hit, and still only penned 11. So you can see, I mean, I think I shot the IS-3 on the side and bounced once, maybe twice, once on the front. I think I bounced once on the defender's front. So, I mean, that's what I mean. If I'd have been shooting standard, I probably would have shot 16, pen 10. You know, it's so irritating when you shoot those damn defenders and they just bounce everything. Total damage 2444 from a distance of more than 300 meters, 246 damage. We got hit 7 times, 5 pen, 2 bounced for no damage blocked by armor. So basically, they just knocked our track off. Spotted 2, damage 4, destroyed 1. After all is said and done, we still walked away with 79,464 credits. I do love having this festive atmosphere still on because that's why I walked away with that much. I still would have gotten some credits probably. I'm guessing maybe. Holiday Ops was 30. The referral bonus for, because this is my daughter's account. And it was my account that I sent to her to get this account set up. So, referral bonus and so on and so forth. So, probably would have made 20,000. But still, hey, it's, I'm not complaining. But anyways, enough jibber jabber. Let's get on to the match. And I know right after I get knocked out, I've got this thing, and it's a habit where I try not and click on other people's tanks because I just feel every time I do that, boom, they get blown up. And I'll click on somebody else's tank to watch them play. Boom, they get blown up. So I'm like, shit. So I try not to do that. I usually stay on my dead carcass, but I think I started clicking around on the other guys. So we'll be able to kind of watch the Pershing get his awesome carry. So if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll be right back with some gameplay for you. Be right back, guys. Alrighty, so here we are on Sand River in the FV4202. When I'm in mediums, I like to go over this way, up into the hill area, kind of over here. There's a couple good spots you can take if you don't cross the road here, like it be actually A9. If you stay on the hill up here, there's a nice area where you can get hauled down. The enemies come up over A7. There's that little perch for them, and you can get shots at them. But unfortunately, if they are hauled down and they don't pull forward, played a little bit of bumper cars here for a minute. I am going to go ahead and turn this down. I'm sorry, guys. A little bit rusty here at... Geez, that was a lot louder than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, so you can get some shots at people. The only problem is if they stay hauled down, then you're just going to be playing bouncy because you'll just bounce all day off their turrets. So the M41 is trying to get eyes on us and get some good lights, and I knew he was there. I keep my gun aimed kind of towards him, and I'm trying to watch in front of me. I thought he's going to come over that hill, so I stopped, kind of aimed in, and he's wanting to peek over. You can tell he peeks. Unfortunately, our shot got us lit, but we are able to kind of scoot out of the way here where we don't get hit by artillery. But the bad thing is now, with me being lit, the enemy team knows where I'm going. The gun on this is actually nice and it's pretty accurate. I think it's like .31 accuracy with everything the way I've got it set up for my daughter. I tried setting up the tanks, kind of explained to her why I'm doing what I'm doing, so she got the gist of why you carry food, why you carry this, why you put this on there, why it's got a gun rammer, why you use vents. And she, she understood it pretty well. Smart kid. I got smart kids. They must get their smarts from their mom. Definitely don't get it from me. So I was worried about the M4190 being over there still, but it doesn't look like he stuck around. And the next thing you got to worry about is popping over here and what's going to be there. And sure enough, I pop over and I see the defender. And you can see I had it set to go on premium to standard, and watch. You'll see from premium, and I click, nope, we're keeping it on premium. Because there is no way I'm going to try dinking around with a defender with standard rounds. Just is not going to happen. Thing might as well, it should to be a damn tier 10 tank, to be honest with you. The good thing is, I do some nice little snapshots with this, and with the decent reload, We're able to get up here. He's tracked. I wanted to keep him perma-tracked, but he fixes it. But I can get 2 shots off to his 1. But with that darn M40 or T44 there, we get another good snapshot into him. So he's about down to half health. Put one right through his turret for 229, knocks our track off, but that's all he did. So the T44 is kind of skating. He's like, I'm out of here. So the Defender and the IS-3 are coming up here, and this is where your gun depression is nice for us because they can't get their guns down enough to hit us. The IS-3 comes up over, take the track off the Defender again. He must have one heck of a either he's carrying 2 repair kits or he's got one hell of a crew in there. And he puts one right. Let's see where he hit us because he used a premium round. Oh, hit me right in the side there. See, in the side of this, he could have went through that with a Q-tip. I mean, seriously. I thought he probably went right through my turret, but that's where he hit me, was right in the side, right yonder. But, you know, like I was saying earlier in the video, you know, premium rounds, everybody uses them, so I've just come to the matter of I don't really care. I just really don't. Why? You know, if it's in the game, it's a tool, might as well use it. That's a Defender, should be a tier 9, not a tier 8, so I'm going to use it. So I keep my premiums on, and we just kind of keep going through them, not like butter, but we keep going through them. That IS-3 is kind of waiting for us. I'm watching my mini-map. We're able to go through the side. The Defender had his turret turned just enough. That M41GF is down there. He's looking up here, but we're going to kind of scare him off too by putting a couple of rounds into him. Can't get a shot at him, and I figure I'm going full ham. I'm going for the Defender, and then I back up because obviously my round didn't kill him like I thought it was going to. Somebody does finish him off, and I decide to charge after the IS-3. And he's shooting premium rounds too. Like I said, everybody else is using them, might as well use them too. So I did an auto lock on him, and then that round bounced. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Then I took the auto lock. He's got a hard on for me, but whatever. As long as, and there I hit him in the side and bounced. That's what I'm saying. That's why I use whatever I can to kill whatever's in front of me. So we take out the IS-3. He is gone, and now, and it was a good thing I took him out with that roll, because if I didn't take him out, the Pershing might have taken him out, or the Carnarvon, but you know, you don't want to count on other people just in case. But you know, 230 average damage, we hit him for 232 to finish him off. I got pretty lucky. I'm pretty sure the Pershing or the Carnarvon would have gotten him, but like I said, you're always better off if you're able to finish him off, because I'm down to 33 hit points. Pershing's down to 390, Carnarvon's down to 185. You know, basically we were the only heavy and mediums that came up this way. Everything else on our team was either a light or a tank destroyer, or they're dead now. So I figure I'm going to come down here, see if I can either get the M4190 taken out or try and light anything on their cap. This is where the front armor of this is really nice on the turret, because you can bounce rounds occasionally if they're not using premium. Even tank destroyers on the enemy team, when they're using premium, can go through you pretty easy. 200 millimeters, it's not as thick as you think. Sounds thick, but it ain't. And this is that alpha I'm talking about. 230 alpha, he's at 375. We hit him for 220 and get knocked out by the Scorpion G, who also is shooting premium. So if you see what I mean, everybody shoots it. I'm to the point where, you know, everybody else is shooting it, I'm just gonna too. That's, I guess, the saying, if, you know, if they jump off a bridge, are you gonna jump too? Well, I wouldn't do that. So, anyways, our Pershing and our Carnarvon are still down this way, and they are still putting a hurting on these guys. The Pershing is on the ball, and he sees that 4190 GF, and he knows it's got a heck of a good spotting range. He waits for him to come up over the hill, and kaplow. And that is one set of eyes that needed to be gone that are gone. So I think I stick around here for a few minutes on my own carcass. Like I said, I've got this bad habit. It seems like when I click on somebody else and I start watching them, they end up dying within seconds. So I quit doing that. It was bad luck or what? But I eventually, here in a few minutes, I think I click over to the tank destroyers or the Pershing or something. But the next thing that needs to be gone was the LT-432, another set of eyes. If you get rid of those set of eyes, you know, if they can't see you, they can't hit you. Well, unfortunately, our artillery is gone, and they do have artillery, and they are with a lead on us right now. The Carnarvon's kind of staying down here, which probably isn't a bad thing. I don't know. If I would have been in the Carnarvon, I probably would have went with the Pershing, um, just to back him up. I mean, he's not going to do much of anything himself with 185 hit points. If he pops out past my carcass, all the tank destroyers setting up here around their cap, you know, he's as good as toast. So he's doing the right thing by getting out of there. And the Pershing, I think, just took out the 432. He's having a hell of a sweet game. I got to give him credit. He's having a great game. I just said, we can pull this off, guys. Keep up the good, awesome work. And they do. You have to forgive me for staying on my carcass. Like I said, it's just you feel like it's bad luck. Or you click on somebody to watch them, and next thing you know, they're dead. But I was showing you, like when I was doing the little quick preview or review of the tank, how I said those side pieces don't have hitboxes in them. Once you get destroyed, you can see they just fall off. So you can see there's no hitboxes in those. So whenever you shoot at one of these, you want to make sure you hit it somewhere, you know, where those cheeks are right here. I find an easy place to pen it, now that we're on somebody else's tank, is the ring right around the bottom of the turret on that. Now this is kind of a game of cat and mouse here because, you know, I mean, it's 10 to 10, but they do have artillery. Now, I know with artillery, this is where if your team doesn't have it and the enemy team does, they can actually come back and make your life just suck. Because artillery, when they get like this Scorpions just lighting our team, and every time, I mean, they're behind the rock here, so you know they're pretty safe. But the second you come out of that rock area and you're not safe, Pershing did a hell of a maneuver there. I got to give him aces on that when he was able to clip out just a little bit enough to just to get an edge on that Scorpion and finish him off. Yeah, and you can see the arty rounds, you know, and that's where, you know, no one likes to have arty on the enemy team. No one likes artillery. Seems like a lot of people play it though. But this is where when your team doesn't have it, the enemy team does, it can kind of really cause issues for you because all you got to do is get lit and they've got arty and they can sit there and pound you. So that Super Pershing, all he's got to do is just keep proxy spotting the team, and you know they're gonna eventually, arty's gonna eventually take him out. The Scorpion G gets a shot on the Super Pershing and I don't know, didn't penetrate it or doesn't know where to shoot him, but the Scorpion G is down to 12 hit points, and you can see artillery just hit the SU or over by him, knocked him down to 19 hit points. Our Pershing's at 390, our Carnarvon is still in the game with 185, and our SU-130 has 363. So we are all very low hit points on our team. So the best thing well, not most, all our players can do is, for one, try and stay unspotted. Two, try and safely get shots off the enemy to take him out. You know, the Scorpion, I can see what he's doing. He's trying to keep that Super Pershing lit. You can see a couple shots come in on the Super Pershing and miss, unfortunately. But with what everybody has for hit points, you can't take a hit to knock him out. This SU-130 is coming up. He's taking a huge risk by doing this, because for one, he get hit by artillery, but he's able to come up and pop that Super Pershing in the keister, and you can see he's scooting out of there. Now these two go right by each other. I was thinking, oh, Arty's gonna get a double kill. I was like, thank goodness artillery didn't hit him there, because I have a feeling artillery is probably out in this area, just due to the fact where that round hit over here, where kind of where that Super Pershing setting a little bit ago. So now they've got, what is that, an SU-130 coming down the hill. There's an SU-130 PM right here. Oh, that's got to be the Scorpion coming down the hill. He just gets knocked out. So now the tables have turned a little bit. It is 13 to 11. I clicked on where the SU-130PM was last spotted. He gets lit up in the trees right here. He takes a shot and misses. I thought this scorpion was going to hit him and just knock the snot out. And I'm like waiting and waiting and waiting. Already takes him out. Actually, yep, already takes him out. And the SU-130PM hits our SU-130PM, knocks him out. Now it's 13-13. And they have artillery. All that SU-130PM there has to do, literally, is keep us proxy spotted, and we are screwed. Our Pershing's over there. I think he's trying to sneak up behind the SU-130. Ours only has 19 hit points. All Artie has to do is fart next to him, and he is as good as toast. So the Pershing's coming up this way, and an SU 130 PM hits for 495. I think it's 530 actually, average damage per hit. So he actually missed him, but the Pershing hits him, and he knows he's got this in the bag. Bam! Artie actually hits and splashes right next to our Pershing, so he's down to 44 hit points, and our SU-130 is down to 19. So that artillery, what is it? Yeah, that's a 40-43, correct? Pretty sure it is. Yeah. So he's got about a 32, give or take, second load time. Might be a little bit less than that. But yeah, I said, now go kill Sky Cancer, make it slow and painful. Not that I don't like artillery. But our Pershing, I think, has a very good idea where artillery is at, because obviously he just got splashed, so he's going to have a basic idea where the round came from. So he's kind of cutting through the building. Now, going through the buildings, I don't know if I would have done that, because every time you hit something, artillery can see that unless they're moving and they're not paying attention. And so it's kind of risky, but it worked out for the best. Our Pershing comes popping up over the hill here. And wham, it's like, whoa, that ain't good. Artie just literally shot just up over his turret. I mean, that was so close. I sent him a message after the match, and I said, man, you probably got burn marks on your turret from that Artie shell just missing you. He's able to squeak it around. I thought he was going to ram him at first. He squeaks around him and takes him out. I thought he was going to ram him. I'm like, no, don't. Because with 44 hit points, the artillery had a little bit more health. He might, I don't know, it could have gone either way, because the Pershing doesn't have the best hull armor. He might have rammed into him and killed himself and left the Artie with, 20 hit points, but he didn't. He did the smart thing, drove around, squeaked around him, and put a shot into his side. And the SU-130 was kind of on the other side of the map, which I guess, that's a good thing. They split up. SU-130 probably didn't realize where artillery was, and he could have ran into him and finished him off on that side. But like I said, the Pershing had just gotten shot by artillery, so he had a great idea where he was at. Ended up getting 6 kills. He said that's the best carry he's had so far, so awesome job to Acekiller. I think it's 2017. Acekiller of 2017 in his Pershing. So awesome job. Kudos to you. Great carry, dude. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. And by the way, with the 4202, kind of was kind of a review of that a little bit. But like I was saying, if you don't have a lot of premium tanks, it is pretty good worth. It's probably, I would say, okay to pick up. There's other tanks I would probably buy before the 4202, but the reason I got it for my daughter's account, for one, because it's got great gun depression with the 10 degrees. It's got great standard round penetration and premium round penetration. It's got good frontal turret armor, but everything else on the tank for armor is pretty trash. The hull is complete trash all the way around, and the turret's only 90 on the side, 90 on the rear, so nothing special. But that 200 on the front, you get hauled down, you can really use that to your advantage. So it's all in all a pretty good tank. If you're top tier, you can really, do a number on the enemy team. If you're bottom tier, you play a little bit as a support. You stay in the back, play as a support vehicle, cover your heavies, try and get some lights, and, you can still do a pretty good job with it, even on if you're bottom tier. So it's all in all a pretty good tank. But anyways, again, you guys have a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click the like button down below. subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I'll see you on the battlefield.